Are you afraid to get a colonoscopy? There's no need to be afraid of it. There are a few tips that we can give you, and I'm hoping that this will help take away the fear of getting it done, and it will encourage you to move forward if you feel that it's time for you to talk to your doctor about possible colon cancer or colorectal cancer. Why should you go and get a colonoscopy? Well, let me tell you what. Here are some statistics that should encourage you to pay attention to your body and go see your doctor for a screening when you think that it warrants a screening. Colon cancer is the third most common cancer worldwide, and it's the second leading cause of cancer deaths worldwide. In the United States alone, in the year 2023, it's estimated that 153,020 people will be diagnosed with colorectal cancer. What's colorectal cancer? Well, colorectal cancer is either cancer of the rectum or of the large intestine. Unfortunately, in 2023, it is also estimated that 52,550 people in the U.S. will die from colon or colorectal cancer. In 1995, in the United States, 1 in 10 people were diagnosed with colorectal cancer, primarily over the age of 50. By the year 2019, that number had jumped to 1 in 5 Americans being diagnosed with a colorectal cancer. That's alarming. You should get checked, please. Whether you have a family history or not, you need to talk to your doctor about getting screened. Generally speaking, the number has gone from being 50 years old and getting a screening down to 45 now. And if you have a family history, I would consider doing that much sooner than that. Before we talk about the preparation, before you have your colonoscopy, I want to let you know a few statistics that I've come across. You're more likely to contract colorectal cancer if you smoke cigarettes. So if you do smoke, please stop. Please. You're doing yourself and your family a big favor. Not having enough activity in your life. Get up and get moving, everybody. It'll do your body good. Eating highly processed meats is another big contributor. So if you're eating, hot dogs and salami and pepperoni and everything, consider eliminating that from your diet altogether. You may also want to consider eliminating certain red meats or all red meats and or meat altogether. If you do wish to eat meat, keep it on the lean side, don't have a lot of it, and maybe try and eat some wild Alaskan salmon or something, that wild caught salmon. But there are plenty of good vitamins and everything in vegetables, and that's huge. You need to be eating a lot of green leafy vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, which would be things like Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli. They're so good. They're just so good. Cooked tomato products have also been reported to be good for you. Consider putting more vegetables on your plate and more whole foods on your plate, and start getting rid of the processed flour, processed sugar, all of the refined foods that are in your cabinets. Start tossing them and start eating real food. I'll put links at the bottom of the description, so that in the description box below, so that you can go and read some of the statistics and read a little deeper into it. I just wanted to use these statistics to encourage you to open up a conversation with your doctor about colorectal cancer screening and possibly a colonoscopy, and also to just get your attention, because I'm telling you, this is a preventable cancer. So let's start talking about that. Let's start having that conversation, okay? But today, we're going to be talking about colonoscopies in general and what I did and what is now actually recommended that wasn't a few years ago. I wish these resources had been available to me before I had my colonoscopy. First of all, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's about a day and a half of your life that could save your life or save you a whole lot more time and discomfort in the future. So Let's go over a few things here, okay? About 7 to 10 days before you have your colonoscopy, your doctor will provide you with an instruction sheet, if you will. And it's gonna, at first you're gonna be eliminating certain things from your diet. What types of foods are you going to be eliminating from your diet? Nuts, food with seeds. Think strawberries, cucumbers, pickles. If there are seeds in it, you're not going to want it. A few days before, you're going to eliminate anything that has skins on it. So you would want to peel and de-seed a cucumber, perhaps, if you wanted to eat a cucumber, okay? Things like that. Then you're going to lighten your diet. And when I say that, I mean literally the color of the foods and beverages that you consume are going to contribute to a successful bowel cleanse, which will lead into a successful colonoscopy, where your gastroenterologist has a better view of everything inside of your body. If you don't properly clean out your bowels, your doctor may send you home and you may have to start all over again. So doing these things are going to have a very positive outcome, and you're going to be able to do this, and it's really not that bad. I promise. Most of the time your doctor is going to prescribe a laxative, and you'll have a prescription. The main one is a 1 gallon jug that you drink over the course of a few hours. Fortunately, in my case, my first gastroenterologist suggested that I do what's called the split dose method. And he also prescribed me a smaller amount of the laxative that is required. Most insurance companies will cover the larger amount where you're consuming like a gallon of liquid. And the one that was prescribed to me was actually, at the time, it was called Prepopic. And this was back in 2017. And instead of having to consume like a half a gallon of the mixture at one time, which is a lot in an hour, mine was like 8 to 12 ounces. So it was concentrated. And then I did that about 14 or 15 hours prior to my colonoscopy. And then after that, in the morning, about 4 hours before my procedure, I consumed a second cup, exactly the same size, exactly the same stuff. Pro tip, refrigerate or use very, very cold water. Trust me, regardless of what kind of laxative you're prescribed, it's going to be very, very helpful when the water's cold. Okay, back to the prep. A few days prior to your colonoscopy, you're also going to probably be eliminating certain medicines like blood thinners. You're probably going to be asked to eat a little bit less garlic and foods that typically will thin your blood naturally. You won't be taking any ibuprofen or anything like that. But again, all of these things will be in the instructions. They are very standard instructions, and I highly recommend having a couple copies of them so you don't lose them, okay? Put it on your calendar, put it on your phone at every step. It will help you just be organized, plan your meals, decide what you can and cannot eat for a few days. It isn't that restrictive, but you'll be better off if you plan properly and you pay attention to the instructions. Okay, so about 4 or 5 days before your colonoscopy, okay, you've already eliminated things with nuts and seeds and all of that, right? Now you're going to start sort of turning your diet a little bit lighter. So you're not going to be having grape juice. You're not going to be having orange juice. You're not going to be having cherry Kool-Aid. You shouldn't be doing that anyway, okay? But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But nothing with any kind of a purple or red dye or purple or red hue to the actual food itself. That means that you can have soups like, say, chicken noodle soup, or you can have broth and things like that. You can have mashed potatoes. Just keep the foods light, and it'll start getting your body ready for the prep, because you're not going to shock your body into eating normal or eating what you consider normal every day and then turning around and having like the shock of all this laxative. So it's just easier on your body and your system. The day before your colonoscopy, you're going to be on a clear liquid diet. and that means that you're still not going to be drinking grape juice and any kind of colored juices. But you can have some tea, you can have black coffee in the morning. You can't have any kind of cream, so don't be thinking you're going to put your cream or your coffee mate or anything like that, because you can't have any kind of milk solids. You can't have any fruit or anything like that, so it's just going to be clear liquids. I generally will have something like vegetable broth or chicken broth, and I'll even dilute it further so that it's not super dark. I have read that you can even have beef broth if you wish, if you prefer that type of flavor. You will want to drink a lot of water. I would recommend drinking a lot of water every day anyway, but for about 3 days before your colonoscopy, and especially the day before and the day of your prep, make a conscious effort to drink a good amount of water, because your kidneys are going to be flushing and everything's going to be flushing out. And when you start taking the laxative approximately 12 to 15 hours prior to your procedure, you're going to get diarrhea on purpose. So you want to be well hydrated going into it, and you want to stay well hydrated while you're going through it. Okay, now we're going to talk about when you start taking the medicine. Tip number 1, this is the biggest tip I can tell you. Get some diaper rash cream like Desitin. It's a product that we have here in the United States. There are other brands. That's the one that I got. And go ahead and follow the instructions and put it around your rectum. The reason that you're going to do that is that you're going to be going to the bathroom a lot, so it's just going to be the frequency and the wiping and everything else that goes along with it. And the laxative does have something in it. I don't know if it's citric acid or something, but it kind of will burn your skin a little bit if you don't prepare. So please, please, please get some sort of a cream so that you can avoid having your skin having direct contact with it when it starts taking effect. Now we have to talk about when we're going to the bathroom and we have to wipe. If you can get some flushable wipes that are safe for your septic system or whatever, and you have the ability, I would recommend that. You want to have the softest toilet paper or product cleaning yourself after using the restroom as you can. Trust me, you want to cush your tush, okay? Cush the tush. If I could go back, I'd have had a bidet by then. Okay, now, once you've taken the medicine and you've got yourself, you've cushed your tush, then what you're going to want to do is follow the instructions, the manufacturer's instructions or the instructions on the prescription, and follow them closely because they're tried and true. And what you're going to do is stick close to your restroom. Don't have any company over. Don't make any big plans. Get a good book, listen to an audio book, watch a movie, whatever you want. But stay close to the restroom. And when it starts taking effect, which could be anywhere from like 5 minutes, I even waited sometimes like up to 45 or 50 minutes before it took effect. You're going to want to make sure that you're close to your restroom, and then in your restroom, have something to occupy your time, okay? I'm not recommending that you take your telephone in there or anything like that. That's gross. But, you know, maybe go back like to the 70s when I think almost all bathrooms had a magazine or a TV guide in there. Take something in there to keep you busy, okay? And something that maybe you could throw away when you're done. You're going to be washing your hands a lot. Make sure you have a good stash of soap. Make sure you have some nice clean towels in there, okay? No cross-contamination here. If you're feeling a little nervous, like maybe you might not make it to the restroom, go buy yourself some disposable adult diapers or some pads or something that are, or even some of the puppy pads, and put it on your chair, okay? Because you don't want to be afraid to, that you're going to have an accident, and that's just the plain truth of it. And it'll make your life easier if you have your mind at ease, right? Make sure that you have a few washcloths and towels extra in your bathroom, just in case, and that too will make your whole life easier, trust me. So after about 2 hours or so, you're going to be done using the restroom, And at that point, your stool is going to be completely liquid, and it should kind of look like, it should be yellow like pee, and it should just be clear. You may have a few bits and pieces of things, but if you followed that diet, I have found that you're really not going to have a lot left in there besides liquid. And again, make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. And, if you want to have some fluids, again, that don't have any coloring in them, follow the instructions provided by your gastroenterologist or your medical team. Believe it or not, you will get some sleep tonight, okay? So no worries. You may have to get up a few times to use the restroom, especially if you're making sure to be well hydrated. And then you're going to get up approximately 4 hours before the procedure if you're doing the split dose, and you're going to drink the concoction and make sure that you do it within the time frame that is specified, because it's really important that you're done using the restroom and everything before you go. I have found that by doing that, I'll do that, I'll take a shower, and then I'll go back to bed for a few hours. And I tend to just try and get up and get dressed comfortably, put on some slip-on shoes if you can, because you're going to be getting undressed at the doctor's office anyway, and you're probably just going to go home when you're done, right? So be comfortable. Anyway, so then you're going to go to the doctor if you're nervous about having an accident, which again, I have not found that to be the case. But if you're nervous about it, again, take some pads with you or wear an adult diaper if it makes you feel a little more secure. Everybody's comfort level is a little bit different, and everybody's body is a little bit different. But this is no time to let pride get in your way, okay? Because this is an important test to have done to eliminate the possibility of getting cancer, or if you have it, to catch it very, very early. That is the goal here. Okay. Now you're going to go in and they're going to check you in. Remember, everybody in the waiting room is doing the same thing you're doing, so don't be embarrassed and don't be shy. I'd rather, that you see someone but again, they're doing the same thing you're doing. When they call you back, you're going to change your clothes, and they usually have a locker or something for you to put your belongings in. So they'll come in and they will put an IV in your arm and flush it with saline solution. And then here, I've always had like what's called a twilight anesthesia. So it knocks you out, but you come to very, very quickly. The first time I had a colonoscopy, I woke up near the end of it while they had the scope in my body, and I was like watching a little movie there of the inside of my body. I didn't feel anything, and when I opened my eyes, the doctor made a comment like, okay, just, stay still. He was a really nice guy, and he was very, very calm. So my guess is that can happen every now and again. The same thing happened to my husband. So I'm saying that because you're not put out like full-on anesthesia, and you will come out of it quite quickly, and you won't remember anything as far as like feeling anything. I'm a big chicken, and I didn't feel anything at all. Now you're going to go back to the room. You're going to get dressed. Some doctors are going to make sure that you go pee or something before you leave. Then they're going to call your ride. In most cases, they will call your ride and say, okay, so-and-so's going to be done pretty soon. You can go ahead and meet them down in the lobby or what have you. And there's always like a passenger pickup where you can go in. If you feel like you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're a little unsteady on your feet, ask if they can, have an escort go down with you, take a wheelchair, whatever you need. Again, don't be proud, because you're doing something that could potentially save your life. So just go with the flow, take advantage of being pampered, and before you know it, you're going to be home. Now, once you go home, you're not supposed to be alone for at least 4 hours. So what we do is just, we come home, my husband will take the time off. I've actually helped friends do it, and either I went to their house or they came to our house, put on a movie, make sure they're comfortable. I like to make sure there's like a pillow or something on the couch and a blanket and plenty of water, because you're going to want to flush that stuff out of your system from the day before, the morning of, and then of course the anesthesia that you had. So you're gonna just kind of take it easy. I want to say that the evenings that I do that, I usually have like chicken noodle soup, or I love mashed sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes and gravy. So I usually have something real easy on my stomach. I never have been nauseous with it. And I just like to ease my body back into eating and eliminating on a more normal basis after that. But as far as I'm aware, you can resume your normal diet. Again, watch and see what your doctor provides to you in the instructions. Okay, then about 7 to 10 days later, your doctor's going to have any pathology reports. If you had a polyp or something like that, they're going to send it in to pathology and they're going to test it. And then your doctor will contact you with the information. Sometimes they may make a doctor visit in the office. Sometimes they might just give you the information over the phone or through a health portal or something that you might have with your insurance. And you'll get your marching orders for either when you're going to go in again, if they found anything. That's usually when you're going to go into the doctor's office and talk to them. And and then you're going to just do whatever is recommended. In my case, I went to my primary physician because the gastroenterologist did identify that I had colon cancer. And we thought we caught it at early stage 2. It was just starting to go through my colon wall. And they did the first time. But I'm going to start talking about my surgeries now. So, not in this video. So the next video that I'm going to put out, or the next vlog that I'm going to put out, is going to be when we found out what my diagnosis was, what steps were taken, and what we did leading up to surgery. And I'm going to take it a step at a time because I really want everybody to be able to digest this a bit at a time, or go look at it later if you face the situation. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with hours and hours of something to watch and try and dissect it. Thank you very, very much for visiting Big Valley Living and following my journey. My name is Michelle. I do have stage 4 colon cancer, although yesterday I got the results of a CT scan that I don't have any visible cancer in my body right now. My complete metabolic blood panel is also showing that I have a low count, meaning that I don't... and the CT scan somewhat corroborates my blood panel that also shows that I don't have cancer present in my body. So I am very, very hopeful. I'm 5 years into this journey. The survival rate with stage 4 cancer is about 15%, and guess what? I'm going to sign up for that. I want to be in that 15%. So I've hit my 5 years, and I plan on doing at least 15, 20, 30 more years of living. I'm getting a lot of very nice comments from people who have survived cancer for 10, 20, 30 years. And it just, oh my God, it makes my heart so happy to see that. I see people talking to each other in the chat, supporting one another, because maybe they have a child who's going through it, and someone else had a child who did go through it. And I'm talking about adult children usually. But to see everybody talking about it and having this conversation is very heartening to me. If we save one life, that is worth everything. And I know it's not a comfortable topic to talk about bowel habits and cancer or any of that, but you know what? It's a fact of life, and we need to have this conversation. I just want you to see what I've gone through. I am not a medical professional, but I will tell you that you are your own best advocate, and you can protect yourself by avoiding things like excessive alcohol or alcohol at all, smoking, leading a sedentary lifestyle, being overweight. Guilty, but I'm working on that. I am working on that. So you can do it too. If you're going through it, let's go through it together. Let me encourage you. Let other people encourage you. Be graceful. Ask for help. Never, ever, ever, ever worry about asking somebody for help. It makes them feel good to help you, and it makes your life a whole lot easier. So until I see you guys again, thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for helping one another. Thank you for sharing this message and subscribing to our channel to stay up with our journey. It's going to be, it's going to be a long time because you're always going to have to be diligent. But we can do this together. And again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you the next time.